What's up? What's up? How's it going? So I think it's been like a solid month or so since I've been able to do a video. I've just been obviously super busy, lots of stuff going on. But this week I have gotten a ton done. Ton. Explored on 1 tons. So I'm using this new selfie stick thing here, so I'm not so close on my videos anymore. So if you look at the truck, you'll see, I don't know, there's a gas tank. Looks like there's a transmission, transfer case. So let's see what I have been up to. All right, let's start with the front. So I got shock hoops on. I'm not finished yet. Long story short, this was my second attempt. Second attempt turned out really good. But I got distracted, wasn't paying attention, and found out shortly after bringing the body back down that the master cylinder brake booster, well, the brake booster clears, but you can't bolt the master cylinder on because it wants to hit right here on the hoop. So no big deal. I'll just redo it a third time. But anyway, I'm using hoops from TMR. They're already pre-bent. They come extra long, 22.5 inches, and they come with the shock mount tabs. So, good kit, not too much. And then I did buy, TMR had these, where are they at? Oh, these right here. So I did buy these standoffs that, you know, you normally weld this on the side of the frame, and then you put the hoops on top. But, I don't know, I just kind of decided to use, I had a whole bunch of scrap 1.5-inch quarter wall tubing. I figured I would just use that. It seems to me a little bit stronger, and then I was gonna gusset underneath of them anyway. So once I get this done the third time, it'll look similar to this, just the hoops will be a little bit further out, and the shock will actually come in this way. So speaking of shocks, all four corners I have 1.5-inch square tubing as my simulated shocks at about 1 inch above ride height. So yes, the truck is actually on its own weight for once. It's not on the hoist, it's not on jack stands. So a lot of progress has been made. Speaking of the shocks, I know I talked about, let's see here. I had those 14-inch Fox 2.5 air shocks that I was going to run. And then I kind of found out quickly that the 14s were just going to be way too long in the front. I definitely do not want the hoops coming up through the hood and all that stuff. So, long story short, I don't think I covered it yet, but I called up AccuTune Off-Road. They're based out of California. Talked to a guy named John Areola, I think his name is. Probably butchered it, but he spent pretty much an hour with me on the phone going over air shocks, coilovers, ORIs, because I told him initially that I was going to run these Fox air shocks for now until I could get the ORIs. Anyway, long story short, after I learned stuff and talked to him, I decided that I was just going to go the coilover route and ordered a set of 4 King 2.0 with remote reservoirs with adjusters on them. So they pre-valved them for me based on all of my information I gave them. You know, it's based off a 94 Explorer, and then everything from the motor to the transmission, the transfer case, the axles. I mean, I can't remember everything, but I think we did a pretty good job of adding up all the weight for them to kind of pre-valve. And then once the truck's up and running, they offer one free revalve. So that's really cool. Same with the Coil Springs. Again, they sent me stuff based on the weights I told them. And we'll see how that works out. And then they also offer a free coil swap as well. So, yes, I have them. I got two 16s and two 14s. And then the red boxes here, IBOC, is the coils. 2 coils per. So, if you do the math, you look up all the specs on those 2.5 Fox shocks, and you know, the extended height, the extended length, and the collapse length. So to get the same numbers roughly, the rears ended up being a 16-inch king, and then the fronts are 14s. And then the coilovers actually offer 1 inch more. They're 1 inch longer, and they offer 1 inch more bump. So it's kind of I kind of gained there as well. So let's see. And then the other thing I learned is always start with the front as far as setting up your suspension and ride height and all that. I know I started in the back a few videos ago. But I found out that after setting up the front how I wanted it, the front was actually about 1 3/8 inches off as far as having everything nice and level. So I actually had to cut these towers off the frame, which I actually did it really carefully and neat and nicely. Shaved them both down 1 3/8 inches and welded them back on. So that's all set up. And then I finally moved the shock tabs on the axle out 3 inches. They were all the way up to the brake bracket. Let's see. So the torque converter transmission is in permanently now. Fingers crossed. Then I also installed my Silver Fox reverse manual valve body. That's in there. And then you see the Atlas is in now as well. And then, so this is all what I did this week. And then I plated the inner frame, both sides of the midsection here. And I think I showed it before, but it wasn't complete. I had to make a second cross member here for the trans after things changed with the 3 links brackets moving back. And then to keep it kind of high and tight, I notched that out and boxed it to clearance for that front output. And that's 2 by 2 inch square quarter wall tubing, all the platings, quarter inch plate. Sorry, I don't know why my throat's so dry. And then I made the heavy duty mid cross member. That's a bolt in, and then it doubles as the support mount for the Atlas. And that's also a TMR mount from them. Again, I used 2 by 2 square tubing, quarter wall. And then it took a lot of time. These frames, I mean, they're They're small, wide, and then they bend in and out. I mean, these frames are just annoying to work with. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but basically I'm cutting these pieces out rough, and then I got to kind of grind them to fit, and then I kind of tap them in so they're just barely a snug fit. So before I put these in, I started mocking up this cross member, and then I located the 4 holes per side, drilled those corresponding into these plates on the frame before I welded them, and then on the back side inside the frame I actually welded the nuts. So that way I can just easily bolt this cross member right in with threaded holes already in the frame. So that worked out really well. It was a little bit tricky. I mean, I'm definitely not a custom fabricator, but everything's turning out pretty good. What else did we do here? Oh, the frame. So then I wire wheeled the tops, everything on the top of the frame has been wire wheeled. The sides have been wire wheeled. And then I went through and I used a solution called Coil Seal. It basically treats and seals, and it's another form of rust converting primer, I guess they call it. So that turns it like black, and then I got 1 coat of black tractor implement paint on all the tops and then the inside of where the plate's at. So the goal is to have everything clean and painted and sealed before the body comes down permanently. That way everything is just basically brand new and coated. So it's turning out really good. I don't know, after this has been a lot of the major work. I have a little bit more boxing to do. I think I am going to go up these. I'm going to continue on to the towers, box those in. And then so I'm going to tie them into the round tubing here for this little back cross member thing for the gas tank, which I'll tell you about in a second. But I don't think this frame is going to twist at all. I mean, you think about it in stock form, you got the leaf springs in the rear, and leaf springs, yeah, they spring up and down, but when you start twisting and flexing out leaf springs, they are bending and pulling side to side, and that's putting a lot of stress and strain on the spring hangers on the frame. Therefore, the frame wants to bend and tweak as well. Now with a 4-link and a 3-link, all that stuff is, in my mind, just really pivoting. The pivot points are right here, and it's just pivoting. It's not binding and pulling and twisting. So I think I'm already ahead of the game as far as not having, leaf spring twisting going on, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to say it, but anyway. What else do I got going on here? Also been working on the gas tank. This is the gas tank and skid plate from my Bronco 2 SARGE that I saved. And it also already has my 255 liter per hour fuel pump in it. So this ended up fitting way better than I even thought it was going. I knew it was going to fit, but I didn't know how well. So I had the axle at full bump for clearance reasons when I was getting this all situated. So believe it or not, at full bump, I still have almost an inch between anything contacting each other. So the front has a 1.5-inch quarter wall tube with a piece of sheet or plate, welded to it, drilled 2 holes for the factory, like this is kind of how the Bronco 2 is, and I welded the nuts to this too, so that way I can just put the bolts in from the bottom, just like on the Bronco 2. And then the back, this is my next thing to get done. So this is the original cross member from the Explorer, and then I cut out the body mount portions because obviously I have to locate that where that's supposed to be. It's just riveted on with like I think 3 or 4 rivets per side. So I just got these held in by bolts for now just to locate them. So again, I got 2x2 square tubing in the back, and that's what the skid plate's going to. But I have a plan and idea to box this in fully, and then this will all be welded and boxed and fully structural and 100 times stronger than stock anyway. But that's more to come. And then something else that was exciting is I got a Bronco 2 filler neck that fit in the Explorer, same holes, same everything. And I lowered the body down, and I got very lucky that this goes right to the tank, just like in a Bronco 2. Only thing I have to do is notch out this area of the body here to clear the tube. This tube has to go up a little bit more. I'm not mad about that. I couldn't ask for that to be a better fit. So yeah. All right. So that's the updates. That's what's been going on. I feel like it's been a ton of progress. Things are really shaping up and working out pretty much how I had planned. I did have the front Kings installed with springs, I got excited. But all that was on the frame was the motor, so there was no weight, and it was ridiculous. So now that everything's getting installed, the transmission, the T-case, all the extra cross members, a lot of weight's gone back into this frame because it was stripped down to nothing. So next is just finish up that rear of the frame, a little bit more boxing, finish up that rear body mount, and that last cross member where the bumper goes, basically. Get that done. And then I think I'll be ready to. I gotta pull all the 4-link and 3-links off. I gotta make sure I put anti-seize and all those and get all those things painted. Then I'll be measuring for drive shafts here very soon. I can measure those right now if I wanted to. So I'm gonna get drive shafts going next. I'm gonna call it Tom Woods. I've used them before, and then there's another place called Reel, R-E-E-L, drive shaft that I heard about. So I'm gonna call them, and there's also a local shop that, I'm gonna call and see who can do it for the best price, I guess. And then what else is going on? So the stock Explorer seats, which were leather, and they're fully powered and everything else, I dropped those off 2 weeks ago now to an upholstery. A woman does upholstery out of her house, and she's been doing it for like 30 years. So I'm getting the seats totally redone. So that's going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot's getting done. And then once we get past the next few steps here, get the body down, and then get the body bolted down. I'm going to get, I can't think of the name right now. I'm going to get a full vinyl floor. I found a place that makes it for the 4-door Explorer. So I'm gonna do vinyl floor. Gotta do the headliner. Headliner needs to be redone. And then I'll have the transmission shifter console to go in, get mounted, and the twin sticks. I mean, the shifters will have to be mocked up before the flooring, obviously. Once the front shock hoops are moved, the master cylinder can go on. And then when the body's down, like I'm saying, I can get the brake lines going. And then all the little final stuff can get going and rolling. And then once it's up and running, it'll be exhaust first. Exhaust I'm a little bit nervous about. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out. How, you know, the driver's side tube comes down and underneath the bell housing basically over to the passenger side, but the third link is right there. So I'm hoping my exhaust guy has a few tricks up his sleeve. Because I don't know. Also depends on how the driver's side is as well, because there's going to be the drive shaft. I don't know. I'm not there yet. Too much to think about. So all right, that's the update for now. Like I said, a lot's been getting done, even though it didn't seem like it. A lot's in progress. Oh yeah, I was talking about the brake booster. So I ordered this stuff second or third week in June. I'm going to be running a Hydro Boost setup on this. Let's see here. So the Hydro Boost booster is installed. And then I have the big master cylinder that came with the kit and all of the hoses and stuff. So I will be running the Hydro Boost for the brakes. So that's exciting. But other than that, I mean, still got boxes of stuff over here. I got a new electric fan I'm gonna run. Cooling's been an issue in the past, just because there was never a proper shroud on the truck, and I don't know, I guess I never really tried or attempted to make a shroud, but I'm gonna just run an electric fan on a controller, and it'll just be way better anyway. Easier. I can always carry the clutch fan as a backup if I have to, but people run electric fans with no issues, so it shouldn't be a problem. So all right, I think that's all the updates for now. I mean, I can ramble on about all the small things, but you guys don't want to hear about that. So yeah, the truck is getting there. It looks good. It's sitting on its own wheels. I have everything to make the suspension finished. Drivetrain's going in. Gas tank is going to be great. So, all right, that's it for now. If you guys start liking and commenting and subscribing, it'd be cool. My subscriber count's going up, which is cool. And I hope to get more videos out sooner. Just so much going on. All right, talk to you guys later.